I just absolutely love whenever I find a story, whether it's in a game or a book, that I can just lose my mind in, and I can just imagine so much about the world and explore it, even mostly take all that world, put it in my head, and just explore it in my head. And sometimes I can lucid dream and explore it in my dreams, and it's such a rich experience. Usually, it's the Final Fantasy series that's really done that for me in the past, like maybe 5 or 6 years. But now, there's been like a little dry spell where I haven't really found anything that really would. No stories where the worlds are just so intriguing and amazing to me. The last one was Final Fantasy 14, and I first played that in 2012. I still love just thinking about exploring Eorzea and Lenosha, Thanalan, Gridania, and stuff like that, but I haven't found any new places, new, like, stories to explore in my head, new worlds. And I quit playing Final Fantasy 14 like a year ago. So I finally found something today. So it's been really nice just to like get lost in the story. The name of the game, it's on Steam. It's called Fault Milestone 1. It's not quite a video game, although it does have some choices in it. It's more of just an animated storybook, or well, semi-animated storybook. It's like a manga. I mean, yeah, but it's just I'm really loving it. I didn't actually buy it myself. I've just been watching Dodger Lay's version of it on her Press Hard to Continue channel. I think that's the channel she puts it on. I always get the two channels mixed up. Either way, Dodger has been doing a really nice voiceover, and she's been reading it, and just I love her voice, so I like listening to it. Now, one interesting thing is there's actually this one character, which is kind of turning out to be like the main character, named Ritona. And I'm so jealous of that name because I don't know, for some reason I don't really remember Rinoa from Final Fantasy VIII. I remember the basics of her character, but to me, when I think of Rinoa, I think of myself, and it's kind of developed its own like separate thing. Kind of like somebody named Tom is not the same as Tom Sawyer, but there's kind of a distinction. Well, for me, I've kind of developed a distinction between Rinoa in Final Fantasy VIII and Rinoa me. But now, part of me is like, oh, Ritona, Ritona. That, I don't know, that just sounds so much newer and more interesting, and her character is so awesome. She's a mana crafter. She can, like, suck up magic and make blades out of nothing. It's really cool. I, I still have the Rinoa thing going though, so I'm probably gonna stick to that. But man, Ritona, what is it with me and R names? For some reason, I don't know, just names that start with R, maybe even names that end with A. They just, I don't know, they just like they stick in my head. Either way, Ritona looks amazing, and I think if I ever do many cosplays, I'm probably gonna have to cosplay as her because her cloak is just freaking cool, and cloaks are cool in general. But yeah. So I've been having a nice day of just watching Dodger Lay's video series on that. I'll probably end up buying the game, but yeah, just because. Oh, I've heard they're making a second one. I'm not even through the first one, but I've heard they made a second one, or they're making a second one and releasing it. So I'm glad they're actually making they're actually continuing it, even though I haven't reached the end. So it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about reaching to the end. Because sometimes when I love something so much and I'm not done with it, I hope I don't finish it too soon, because I don't want the wonderfulness to end abruptly. But now that I know they're making a second one, it makes me really hopeful. Like, oh, I'm not even through with the first one. They're already making a second one, going to be releasing it sometime this year, I think. Well, if they're going to be doing that, who says they're not going to make 5 of them or 10 of them or whatever, or make them into a game? Because if they make it into a game, I mean, as it is now, it's just hand-drawn stuff, so they have the pictures in the game. Because it's more just like it's just a story. It's not really you're not a character walking around. It's not like Mario 64 or anything like that. So there's no 3D models of the characters that I know of. But if they ever do turn it into like a thing where I have 3D models of the characters, I could then 3D print Ritona with her robe. That'd be pretty cool, because I already have a 3D print of my model of Rinoa Leonhardt, my character from Final Fantasy XIV. in her white mage costume, robe or whatever. And I'm probably going to 3D print a bunch of other characters, but I would really love to have Ratona. Ah, it's so cool. Yeah. I just love geeking out over Japanese RPG stuff. I don't know, science fiction, fantasy. Science fiction, fantasy, or even just fantasy. It's just so amazing. It kind of comes back to, or not comes back to, it kind of plays on a desire for, I always want to make things amazing. Like to where, like, I would love us to have magic like in there where you could like cast fire or you could cast lightning, you could control things. That'd be so freaking cool. I mean, we can control things, but we control metal by pounding it. We don't control metal by like our minds. But yeah, it is possible in the remote future that we can make things where we can control stuff, but it would be a lot of gizmo trickery where we'd have like a lot of little machines to do this stuff or whatever, or magnetic fields or whatever. Ah well, it's just so interesting to think about making magic because us as humanity, we are making magic. As we increase our technology, we're making magic. It's just that we understand that magic, so it seems less magical to us. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Well, I hope you guys had a really good day. I had a great day. And thanks for watching. See ya.